My name is Lena Mercer. I'm 34, and on December 31st, my family told me not to come to New Year's Eve because I would make everyone tense. So I spent the night alone in my apartment with a bruised pear on a plate and a closed laptop I was forbidden to touch for 9 more hours. My attorneys had drilled the quiet period rules into me. I told myself I was fine, the practiced kind of fine. The kind a woman learns when being excluded stops feeling surprising and starts feeling inherited. At 12:01 a.m., my brother called. Not my mother, not my father, Gavin. His voice broke in my ear. What did you do? Dad saw the segment and now he can't breathe. I told him to call an ambulance. I did not tell him I had been bracing for that moment for 7 years. 3 days earlier, at 7:42 on a gray morning, my mother sent the text that started it all. Honey, we've decided smaller is better this year. You'll only make people uncomfortable with all this stress. Stress was her favorite code word. It never meant worry. It meant, don't let Gavin feel small. It meant, you have something we don't know how to hold, so take it elsewhere. I read the message 3 times, then typed back, got it, Happy New Year. I set my phone face down on the counter, not from anger, but from instinct. In my family, your reaction was always the next weapon. Then I opened a private tab, entered a string of numbers from memory, and checked the record I had been checking for years. Still my name. Only my name. By 9 that morning, I was downtown in the half-empty office, where holiday quiet made every sound feel rehearsed. Mara Quinn, our counsel, was at the window table, a bagel in one hand and documents in the other. She read my mother's text in 4 seconds. Good, she said. One less dinner to schedule around. That was Mara. She could strip sentiment off a problem until only the edges remained. My father called at 3:04. He had not phoned me in 6 months, and the instant I heard his tone, I knew he was no longer speaking as a parent. Lena, he said, before you sign anything with Wall Street, understand what family requires. My stomach went hard. What are you asking? Gavin has been there from the beginning. If there's no formal agreement, that should be corrected. Corrected, as if my work were a clerical error. I wrote down the time. At dinner that winter, I had tried to explain the security framework I was building out of a second-hand laptop and nerve. My mother told me to bring home something easier to understand. Gavin, already tipsy, cut in and said, "Have you thought about going consumer-facing?" Then he smiled, like he had built it himself. That night, I went back to my studio, opened my notebook, and wrote the first specification. The next morning, I cold emailed a patent attorney. Mara answered on the first ring when I called her after my father. Send me the text, send me the call log, then do nothing, she said. You've done the boring thing for years. Let it save you now. At 9 night, my cousin called and told me Gavin had been talking. My cousin said Gavin had been bragging at Thanksgiving, drunk enough to mistake envy for strategy. Watch the news on New Year's, he had told him. My sister's company is about to acknowledge who built it. So when Gavin called at 12:01, I opened my laptop for reading only and searched his name. There it was, a year-end business segment, replayed just before midnight. The Chiron called us the sibling team behind my rise. Gavin sat under studio lights in the tie I had bought him and lied with calm. He said we had conceived the architecture together. He said he had quietly advised me from the start. Then he made the mistake that ended everything. Trying to sound important, he referenced confidential design patterns from his current employer's internal compliance tool. I paused the clip, rewound it, and sent the timestamp to Mara. She called in under 2 minutes. Do nothing publicly, she said. His company will handle him before breakfast. We'll handle the record at dawn. She was right. By 5:50, our correction was queued. Sole founder, sole inventor, prior statements inaccurate. By 8 o'clock, Gavin had been placed on leave. By noon, my father was home from the hospital, exhausted, embarrassed, and fine. The company went public that Monday without a scratch. A week later, my mother stopped calling. My brother stopped pretending. My father mailed me a note in his handwriting. The patent is yours. I was wrong. I put the letter in a drawer beside my passport. The following New Year's Eve, I hosted dinner. 8 people, roast chicken, wine. No one asked me to disappear. At 12:01, my phone stayed dark. For the first time in my life, quiet felt like peace.